Hey beauties, I wanted to pop online real quick. I'm going to do a quick video on explaining the difference between bacteriostatic saline water or solution and then regular sterile saline solution. So this is bacteriostatic sodium chloride that you can use for reconstituting your neurotoxin or your peptides. And this one here is a sterile saline that oftentimes comes with the neurotoxin orders from estroderma.com or some of the other vendors that you might use for your neurotoxin purchase. So I just want to talk about the differences between these two and the pros and cons of each, because I see that question come up a lot on whether to use the Bacto water or whether to use sterile saline. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing that we'll start with is talking about Bacto water and the pros and cons. The bacteriostatic water is sterile water and it's got 0.9% benzyl alcohol added, okay? Benzyl alcohol is a preservative added to the water that sterile saline does not have. So one of the pros is the additional preservative. So that additional preservative helps prevent bacterial growth in the water, especially if it's going to be stored for more than one use. And so this one is designed for multi-use. So you can recon with this one multiple times. You can save it and store it because it does have a preservative, where sterile saline does not. Typically, these are sold in 30 ml vials. You can buy them in 50 ml vials. So one of the cons of Bacto water is because it does have that additional benzyl alcohol added to it, it can sting a little bit more. And so lots of times people will report that the injection stung a little bit more, hurt a little bit more, and that could be because of the alcohol in the Bacto water, if that's what was used to reconstitute that particular toxin or peptide. The other thing that I want to mention about the Bacto water is if you are looking to purchase Bacto water online, you want to find one that says injection USP or for injection USP. Do you see it has injection USP? When you see USP on the bottle, that means that it meets the US quality standards for injectables. And specifically, USP means US Pharmacopeia quality standards. And basically what that is that it's evaluated, its purity is evaluated, it follows the testing requirements for US standards, and it's made for a regulated pharmaceutical standard product for the US. So I always recommend making sure that when you're purchasing your Bacto water that you are looking for one that says USP injection or injection for USP. Okay, so in a nutshell, Bacto water includes 0.9% benzyl alcohol, which is a preservative. It helps prevent or minimize bacterial growth, meaning that it is used for multi-draw and it can be stored and reused. So for sterile saline, this is basically a sterile salt water. It's typically good for one use. Once you open it, it does not sting as bad because there is no benzyl alcohol added to sterile saline. It also means that when you open it once, you use it, don't store it, toss the rest because there's no preservative in here. From a DIYer's perspective, if you are not using your full vial of neurotoxin within the 24 to 48 hours, which is typical aesthetic practice guidelines, the off-label is 30 days, and then some DIYers store their neurotoxin longer than that, right? I always recommend, even though it might sting a little bit more, to use Bacto water for your DIY purposes because of the additional preservative and the additional protection against bacterial growth within the neurotoxin vial. Even though you're storing your neurotoxin vial refrigerated, you still want to prevent bacterial growth. So this will have some additional protection against that over the sterile saline. May not be 100%, and I'm not encouraging anybody to not follow manufacturer guidelines. That's at your own risk. But from a DIY perspective, me personally, I use the Bacto water because I do typically store my neurotoxin longer than 30 days before I use the full vial. So anyways, again, that's a personal choice, personal preference, personal risk, and I'm not encouraging you to do that. So anyhow, that's it in a nutshell. And so I hope this video is helpful to you, and comment if you have any questions. I do offer a neurotoxin comparison guide that compares US neurotoxin with Asian counterpart neurotoxin. So if you're interested in learning about what the comparable neurotoxins are US to the Asian market, then comment guide, and I'll send you the link for that guide. And the guide also includes additional information such as the manufacturer. It includes diffusion patterns and that sort of information. So it's very helpful. I hope you take advantage of that free guide and comment guide for that, and like and follow and all the things. All right. Love you guys. Mwah.